Sup, Reitanna, it's Reitanna Seishin here. Sorry if I sound like the most excited person in the world, but, we had to bury Tommy today, so... I mean, not Tommy, Sammy. Wow, Tommy's still alive. Sammy died. Sorry, it's been a rough couple of days not having my Sammy with me. Anyway, I didn't think that I would have to say this, but the overwhelming amount of comments that I get has just made me think, okay, well, I gotta stop this just because it's annoying me. Alright? I know about the Encyclopedia Dramatica page, okay? I've known about it for a long time. I can't tell you the exact allotment of time. A year? I'm guessing I know about it, okay? I actually, I saw it, I read it, and I laughed because of how ridiculous it is and the fact that some kid cares about me enough to spend hours writing nonsense about me, but I know a lot of you are the type of people who care about he said, she said stuff, but I don't, because I live in the real world. See, somebody claiming all of this weird things about me it's not important. It's really not important. It would be important if it were true, but it's not. I mean, for heaven's sake, they used a picture of Coda to claim I was emo. I thought that was the funniest part. So, this page obviously was written by some kid who's obsessed with me or something, because, if you don't like somebody, there's no way you put that amount of energy into something that takes so long. They put in this time and effort to put this together, and I'm just like, oh, I'm flattered, honey, but this isn't exactly going to get my attention. Well, what has gotten my attention is that people think that I don't know about it, and I constantly get people going, oh my god, Reitanna, I'm so sorry, but you have to see this. Oh my god, they say so much bad stuff about you. Oh my god, and they send me the link. I'm like, okay, well, for one, why would you send anybody the link to a website where they're insulting them? That just, to me, that is like common sense. That's rude. Unless you're trying to aid in it, if you're like, pretending to be sorry and you're like, oh, this is gonna be so funny. I'm gonna send her a link and then she's gonna be all like, boo-hoo, and I'm gonna be like, ha-ha-ha, because you're Russian for some reason. But, it's annoying, okay? I honestly, I forget that the page even exists up until somebody sends me a link. And if it were one or two people, I wouldn't be making this video. I have gotten, oh my god, I can't even count how many. I've had to blacklist certain words just to make sure that they pop up in my waiting for approval thing, just so I can delete it, because I'm like, well, the site actually gives you viruses, so I don't want anyone else clicking on that. And for two, it doesn't matter. Okay? It is literally, it's not a problem. Okay? Somebody making shit up about you? Like, okay, I'm 26 years old. I graduated high school in 2009. I don't deal with drama anymore. I deal with real problems. This page is the equivalent of, like, a girl coming up to you and being all like, oh my god, Kelly told me that you said that I was really, really fat. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go tell Brittany that you said that she was a slut, and oh my god, everybody's like gonna totally hate you. Oh my god. But people don't totally hate you because you still have your friends who know the truth, and you know the truth, so why does it matter? It doesn't. And it's like, I get the feeling that this person who wrote the page is trying to, quote-unquote, ruin my reputation, but slander doesn't ruin somebody's reputation. Bad, like, truthful things are what affect somebody's reputation. My reputation is that I don't do drugs, I don't drink, I'm completely honest, and I give advice to people, and I do videos. I literally have nothing to hide. There's no dirt to dig up on me. That's why they had to make up so much stuff. It's absolutely ludicrous. It's hilarious. But don't go to the site because it will give you viruses. I saw it through screenshots of the pages. There's like 4 pages on this page. Anyway, but I know how long it takes to create a web page like this. It's time consuming. They put a lot of energy into it, and I'm just like, it's just like, you know, when I hate somebody, they're not a person to me. Well, I'm not gonna say hate because, well, it's different. There are different types of hate that I feel. There's the hate for one single person that bothers me so much that I can't keep them off of my mind. And then there's the hate where you don't exist anymore. Like, you're not even worth my time. For all I care, you're not even a fellow human being. So they don't exist. I don't put any energy into them because why should I? They're not important to me. They affect me in no single way. So it's like this person putting energy into trying to what I'm not sure what they're trying to do. Upset me, I guess? It's like, dude, you know, are you just somebody who, like, I blocked for being a little fucking brat? Because there's no way an adult would do something like this. If they did, I feel so sorry for anybody associated with that adult, because that is sad. Now, the only thing that annoys me is people making a big deal out of this. It's not a big deal. I really don't care. It's not a problem. Somebody saying that, oh my gosh, she is so emo. That's not a problem. Do you know what is a problem? I just lost my rat. My rat just died. I lost somebody that I truly loved, and that has been taking a huge toll on my emotions. Somebody showing a conversation I had with somebody, showing my responses and not what happened on their side, and making me look like the bad guy. That's not important. For one, because I know the truth. For two, you know what is important is the fact that my digestive system isn't working properly, and I might have to get some of my colon removed. That's a problem, especially since I don't know if my insurance will cover it. Somebody saying that I want attention, and I'm like, I want pity and sympathy, that's not a problem. Do you know what is a problem? The fact that I need to get 3 teeth pulled, and it's gonna be fucking expensive as hell. I live in the real world. This is the real world. This he said, she said stuff is not important. And it's just hilarious when people think it is. Like, oh my god, Reitanna, I'm so sorry they said this stuff about you. It just, come on, seriously. And I reckon that the people who have been trying to bring my attention to the site for some reason are indeed teenagers or preteens, because only teenagers care about drama like that. It's not important. The important things are keeping my rat happy, trying to find another pair of rats to keep him company for the rest of his life, which is incredibly difficult because of a lawsuit that's going on with Petco, and the fact that all breeders and pet stores have stopped, carrying rats at the moment until this shit is figured out. I just popped my neck and that felt really good. Another thing that's important is the fact that, well, then there's the the colon thing, there's the dentist thing, there's the trying to, raise the money to finally move out of California because California fucking sucks. Well, Southern California. I've never lived in Northern California. I've been there, and it's really pretty, but I've never lived there, so I don't know, like, the cost of living. But Southern California sucks. It's nothing but desert, and it smells, and it doesn't look right. The grass isn't green, the trees aren't green, the people are horrible, there's too many cars, there are too many people. It sucking fucks. It sucks harder than sucking itself, okay? That's a problem. The fact that I've been, there have been certain things that have been prohibiting our walks, and I've gained weight again. That's a problem. What else am I having problems with? Taxes. Taxes are coming up. That's a problem. And I have to renew my beauty license. That's a problem. Well, Mike is stressed out with his job. That's a problem. There are problems. Okay? And they revolve around bills and, trying to survive, trying to keep a roof over your head, trying to keep yourself clothed, and the fact that you can't afford clothing, so that when a shirt rips or something, the best you can do is put a patch on it because, it's really expensive to live here, you guys. I mean, it's just, it's terrible. And those are problems. Like, oh my god, they totally said, like, you were emo, oh my god, and you make fun of mental illness, and that you pretend that you're mentally ill, oh my god, is it true? That doesn't matter. And I'm not hard to contact. When my DeviantArt gets unbanned, I still have, still got a few months to go. You can contact me there. You can contact me on YouTube. Those two places, you can contact me. So if you're ever unsure about something you heard, why don't you just come up to me and ask if it's true? And I will explain whether it's true or not, and reasons or truths behind it. I'm never going to lie to you. I've got nothing to hide. I have nothing to be ashamed of. And when I am ashamed of things, I tell you I'm ashamed of it. I'm ashamed of having mental illnesses, and I know I shouldn't be, but I am, because it prohibits me from living a normal life. I've gotten over the shame of having big teeth because I've already made fun of myself for that so much. It's like these things, people try to insult you, and you can't insult somebody with something that they've either isn't true or you've already insulted yourself about. Like, I remember years ago, I was commenting on a video, I don't remember what, I think it was one of Rob Dyke's videos or something else, and somebody wanted to insult me by saying, oh, your mom is such a whore, or something, and I said something, and they were like, that's what your mom said last night when I was doing her, and I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised, she's a fucking whore. And then it turned into, other people giving me yo mama jokes, and it turned into me giving my mama jokes, which encouraged more yo mama jokes, and all of it was honestly really entertaining. It was really funny, because it doesn't bother me, because I know that Erin is a whore. I know she's a terrible creature. She's not even a person. She's a horrible, horrible human being. And she deserves absolutely nothing, and she's trash, and you can insult her as much as you want. I'm gonna agree with you. Unless you say, your mama's so fat, because she's not, because, druggies are really skinny. And I wasn't blessed with her fucking druggy body. I mean, she's been skinny, but then again, she probably started doing drugs the same time she started smoking, which was age 9. I am ashamed of being blood related to this woman, but, you know, you guys know that, and somebody insulting me about it isn't going to hurt my feelings. It's actually kind of gonna make me feel better. And about my big teeth, you know, I don't have a lot of people pointing it out. I did, after I came home, when I was 19, after I came home from Washington, that family, my dad's side of the family is fucked up. Like, not as fucked up as Aaron, but they're pretty fucked up. My dad, he's got some problems, but I haven't disowned him or anything, but that family, they're insane, and I'm not gonna get into details, but back when MySpace was like, oh my god, the thing, I had one of my cousins tell me I had horse teeth, and yeah, it made me feel a little insecure, but I got over it, because yeah, I have big teeth. So what? Who cares? That's the way I was born, you know? It's... who cares? And, you know, with this Encyclopedia Dramatica thing, the only thing I care about is not having people making a big deal out of it and trying to spam my inbox with links to it, okay? Really, it's just like, stop mentioning it. Who cares? Why do you care? It doesn't affect you. It doesn't affect me. It's like, why do you care? I will never understand that, why these things are, for some reason, so important. It's like, I think it was a Family Guy episode where, it was like, it did a spoof on, like, high schoolers. Like, it was like a TV show or something, and, it said, high school is so hard, these problems matter. It's sarcasm. Everything that happens in high school, aside from your classes, all this drama, the social hierarchy, it doesn't matter. None of it matters. The fact that, oh my god, Kelly is talking about you behind her back, oh my god, that doesn't matter. Like, oh my god, Johnny doesn't like me and now he's going out with Barbara. Oh my god, that doesn't matter. None of it matters. And, you know, it's really funny, too, when I look back on being a teenager. I'm like, oh, it mattered so much to me, you know? And I got upset over things just because I was not medicated and I was hormonal. Those two things do not mix, and that's why I wish parents would take teenage mental illness more seriously. I'm serious. Like, if you're one of those kids that are, like, pretty sure you have something and you really need to go see a psychiatrist, and your parents are all like, oh my god, you're just being a teenager. Okay? They are bad parents, I'm sorry, but they are the red flags. Red flags. You want to hurt yourself, you're suicidal, you're constantly depressed, you're feeling emotions that come out of nowhere. Those are red flags that your parents should automatically go, okay, something's wrong with my child, we need to go see a psychiatrist now. The fact that they chalk it up to, oh, you're just being a teenager, is the fact that they don't remember what it was like to be a teenager. I understand it, because I was a teenager without medication, without a psychiatrist, and it was hell, and you know it's hell for those of you who have to undergo the same exact things, and the fact that you don't have help is just making it worse. So yeah, I was a little bratty teenager. I was intelligent and had common sense, but that didn't change the fact that emotions were, you know, sporadic, and things like, oh my god, he said, she said, were important. Why? Then that's why I stick by the fact that teenagers are fucking stupid. And for those of you who are smart teenagers, you will agree that teenagers are stupid, because you're smart enough to know that teenagers are stupid. So, it's like, I mean, I may not understand now why it's so important, but I did understand. I've just forgotten how to understand. And, I was a stupid teenager. So stupid, in fact, that when I turned 18, I thought that I knew everything. And oh my god, I was the shit because I am older than all of my friends and I am legally an adult. So I am like totally the big cheese. Well, you know what? That attitude faded pretty quickly. In fact, by the time I was 19, I no longer had that attitude, which is rare. Usually people lose that attitude in their early 20s. You want to know why? Because I was plopped out into the real world without any warning. Literally, without any warning. And I'm one of the lucky ones who was able to get over that. And, before real adulthood, because I don't care if 18 is the legal adult age. You're not an adult when you're 18 because your brain isn't done developing, okay? So, yeah, 18, 19, teen, still a teenager. I just got lucky when I was 19 because shit hit the fan all at once, and when you experience the real world in such a harsh way, it's like a slap in the face. Like, what the fuck do you think you're thinking? You're immature, and all this shit that you did before, you don't have that anymore. You don't have other people to support you. You have to make the money. You have to pay the bills. You have to pay for school. You have to go look for a job. No one is going to help you. And those are the things that are important. And, for those of you who haven't stepped out into the real world yet, enjoy your youth while you can. Enjoy being dependent while you can. And for those of you who are out in the real world, can agree with me that it's not green grass, sunshine, blue skies, and butterflies out here. It's not. The streets are full of monsters. Taxes are high. Oh, relatively, the taxes in California are pretty low, but that makes everything else expensive. A candy bar is almost $2 now, I believe. A bottle of water is $3, and just like apples can run you $1 a piece. And for those of you who don't really understand money, and the fact that our tiny, dinky little 1-bathroom, 1-bedroom, small-ass apartment that's smaller than, some bedrooms I've seen, costs us over $1,000 a month, and we don't make enough to, we struggle every month because of it, and we just want to get out. Those are problems. Those are the things that make me upset, and those are the things that are on my mind. And because of real problems, like I said, I completely forget that the Encyclopedia Dramatica page exists until somebody bothers me with the link. And that's why I'm making this video. I just want you guys to understand that, oh my god, it is, like, totally not a big deal, okay? Do you like my Valley Girl accent? Isn't it just, like, spot on? So, it's not important, guys. So, if I'm not worrying about it, then you shouldn't worry about it. Why should you worry about something that literally doesn't affect you? I mean, I know you guys care for me and for a certain extent, but the truth is I'm a stranger to you. You've never met me face to face, except for that one girl I met at Anime Expo, who was dressed as Grell, and I was really impressed with her cosplay, and I'm like, I want to cosplay Grell someday, but that's probably not going to happen. I'm probably never going to go to a convention ever again. So, you don't know me on a personal level, even though, I may interact with you somewhat personally, especially when you guys come to me with your problems and you're seeking help, and I help you on a personal level. But you don't know me, so why should you care that much about me? Like, I will never understand why people care about people that they've never even met. Like, they don't even know. But, that's just me. I guess people don't understand how I can't not care about people in general. I guess it's just part of my social phobia and my hatred toward other people, hatred toward most of humanity, and my distrust of every single person aside from 3 people. My poor brother. My poor brother is experiencing a lot of problems. But I told him, there's literally nothing he could say to me that would make me, be all like, okay, you are the problem. You have a problem, and I need to call the police on you or whatever, extreme things like that. I told him, I will not judge you. I will not think you're crazy for, saying certain things. You obviously don't have anybody to talk to about these things. So, I may be your little sister, but I can be a big support. So, it just sucks that he's been so much out of my life that he is practically a stranger to me. So when I come face to face with him, I act the same way I would around a stranger. And I told him that. I explained everything to him, and he understands, luckily. So, these are problems, guys. These are real problems. Reitanna, you keep repeating yourself. I know. I have a really bad habit of doing that. So that's just a roundabout way of saying I hate sauerkraut. Anyway, I'm gonna try and get myself back up to speed. Try not to think about Sammy so much. See, usually I get a new pet, or 2 in this case, immediately after a pet dies. And the reason is to not replace them, because they are not objects, they are individuals. It's to fill the hole that needs to give love and needs to receive love in return. So, but can't find little ratties anywhere. And my poor Tom, he is all alone, he is all bored, and he's so full of love. I know he would just take to 2 little baby brothers so well. And, if it had been Tommy that died and Sammy was the one left alive, he would not like the babies, just like Ezio, because Ezio and Sammy were the alpha males. And Tommy is just this little ball of affection he just loves so much. And I don't think he fully understands that Sammy's never coming back. I'm sure he's wondering where Sammy is. And he's wondering why he's alone, why he has no one to play with, no one to groom him, no one to groom, and why is Mama taking me out more than she usually does? Why are Mom and Dad giving me so much love? Why am I getting 2 yogis instead of 1 in the morning? Why am I getting all this extra food and nobody's trying to take it from me? But he's not mourning. Ezio mourned so hard over Rem that he died 3 days later from misery, and he was so upset. You could just tell he was just so upset. He was dead inside, basically, and he just gave up because Rem was everything to him. And what's worse, Rem died while we were sleeping, so Ezio was forced to spend hours with his lifeless body. So Ezio was really able to register that Rem is dead and he's never coming back. Tommy, fortunately, did not have to spend time with Sammy's body. We had him sniff his fur after he died, but I don't think, and I've always thought that Tommy was kind of special in the head, and I just love him even more. He's just a little bit special. I don't think he fully understands. We try to let him know that your brother's never gonna come back, but whether he understands it or not, he's taking it very well. He's still extremely energetic, very enthusiastic about eating. He's drinking fine, he's sleeping fine. When I wear, there's a hoodie that one of you guys sent to me that's like a cat hoodie. You know what I'm talking about, to the one who sent it to me. I use that as my lounging sweater when it's cold, and Tommy will sit in my hood because it's lined with fuzziness, and so he'll sit there in my hood and he'll just be the cutest little rat.
He's just a good little rat. He's so cute, and he gives lots of kisses, and he just loves so much. He's just got so much to love, and he needs two little brothers. He's just a rat.
Burying Sammy today was very hard. I feel like he was taken from me too soon, and unfairly. I always want my animals to pass peacefully, painlessly, in their sleep without them even knowing that it's coming. But unfortunately, with rodents, that's hard to do because as they get older, they are much more susceptible to problems. And Sammy never had any respiratory problems. I give my rats chocolate in moderation, and that helps. That actually helps their respiratory system. So when we took him to the vet, she was afraid that he might have pneumonia, but they took an x-ray and his lungs were perfectly healthy. It was his digestive system that was failing. And he died the same day we took him to the vet. And other than some sneezes the day before, he was not showing any signs of being sick. And even if he did, if we took him in for surgery, not only would that bleed us dry out of any money, but he's so old, he probably would have died on the table. And I think it was a lot better for him to die curled up in a soft blanket with his mommy and daddy, giving him reassuring words. And before he really started going downhill, I was petting him, and he was boggling and bruxing, letting me know that he loved me. And he couldn't eat or drink. And at some point, he just started gasping for air, and he did that for like 30 minutes, and I was screaming at him. I said, "You can't leave me like this, not like this, you can't go like this, and I'm not ready to say goodbye." And I couldn't watch him gasping for air anymore. He had lost all feeling in his nervous system. I pinched his tail, and I got no response. And so I took out Tommy, and I was loving him and trying to explain to him what was going on. And Mike took Sammy away to say his last words. And he just stopped breathing. I love that rat so much. I was not ready to let him go. He was just fine. Until Monday. Tuesday he'd still eat, he'd still drink, he still had his energy, he was just sneezing. No fits or anything, just every few minutes a really big sneeze. And then we get up on Monday morning and he's practically lifeless. He can't even walk. His tongue is swollen, he can't eat and he can't drink, and he's sleeping more than normal, and he just won't move. And I miss him so much. And I've got lots of rat videos I still need to edit, and I just know that I'm gonna cry every time I edit one. Because of little Sam. And without the distraction of 2 new babies to take care of, I'm dwelling on Sammy. I'm dwelling on the loss. Because he was my child. I lost a son. And I miss him so much. I miss him so much. These are the only times when I welcome sympathy, is when somebody I love is, in danger, or if they've died, if they're sick, things like that, I'm sorry for your loss. Those are fine. Because I'm sorry for my loss too. But crying for losing somebody and trying to seek comfort and sympathy, that's not a cry out for, "Oh my God, look at me, I'm so pitiful, oh my God, feel sorry for me." It's reaching out to those of you who know the feeling, and to know that it's just nice to see somebody care that much about your loved one, that they're willing to give you comfort. And sometimes we need that comfort. We take solace in the fact that there are people who think like us, who connect with us, who feel the same way. You know, I'm sure there's many of you who value animals' lives in the same way that I do, as if they weren't just some animal, as if just because they were a different species doesn't make them any less of a person. You know, I know there are people like me out there, and you guys know what it feels like to lose a family member, and it hurts. And, you know, we all just... It's comforting to know that we all think the same way. That we all know how it feels. So, I mean, if you want to say, I'm sorry for your loss in the comments to this video, I completely welcome it. But, as for, I feel sorry that you're so sad, like, I'm sorry that that made you cry, that kind of thing. Like, I feel so sorry for you that you are feeling, you know, so bad, because that's feeling bad for me instead of feeling bad for Sammy and I. You need to feel bad for us. The fact that that connection is severed. Well, I guess what they say is death ends a life, not a relationship. So I guess the relationship isn't lost per se, but the living ties we had with each other, the connections, the bond, you know, that it only exists in thought. And I need comfort for that. Because I'm not a selfish person. If you try to feel sorry for me, you better feel sorry for the one who it actually affected. You know, a living creature lost its life last Monday. That's the problem. That's a big deal. And I'm sorry you guys had to listen to me cry. I've been crying on and off about Sammy. I loved him so much. And for those of you who don't understand my view on crying, it doesn't make you weak. It relieves your body of the burden that is sadness, and you need it in order to feel better. So I'm letting myself cry whenever I need to. I always do. You should never feel ashamed of crying. I never do. I never feel ashamed. I just apologize because I know the sound of my crying is extremely ugly. Trust me, I've had to record it so that I had realistic crying for things like Anatier's Descent, the SCP-087B mod I did. So, you know, I know it's ugly, but, you know, so are humans. Like, even pretty ones. They're ugly on the inside. Not like their heart or anything, like their organs and their blood and their bones. It's all very disgusting. We're all very disgusting on the inside. We have waste. We have bile, we have feces, we have urine. It's disgusting. It's gross. We're gross. Organic creatures are gross. No matter how good they look on the outside, we're just all gross, okay? So yeah. I'm gonna go back to whatever the fuck I was doing before I recorded this. If you listened this far, cool. I hope it didn't depress you. If you just heard the first part of the video, cool. At least you know that I don't want you sending me links to that page anymore, that I don't care and stuff like that. Cool. If you just skipped this video, cool, I guess, as long as you don't... Well, if you skip this video, then you can't exactly hear what I'm saying. Speaking of my old man voice, if you have Netflix, I definitely recommend watching the series of unfortunate events that they developed. It is so good. For those of you who saw the movie and had read the books prior to it and were like really disappointed with the movie, this show, the Netflix original, does an amazing job. It's funny, it's dark, the acting is amazing, and the reason why my old man voice reminded me of it, because, you know, if you've read the books, you know Count Olaf is always trying to act, and there's this scene where he has to come up with a name on the spot, and he's talking in this old man voice, and the girl asks him his name, and he goes, Jessica haircut. Because he saw the word haircut written on a... It's just funny. And also, on Netflix, Stranger Things. That's amazing. And that's being... both of these things are being renewed for a second season. So, Stranger Things is another thing you need to check out. And then for those of you who are older and like gore and stuff like that, and if you have Amazon Prime, check out all 3 seasons of Hannibal. Because, I mean, I'm rewatching it, and I'm having Mike watch it with me, and he's actually really enjoying it, and he's not a big gore fan. You know, he can stand some, but if it gets too overwhelming, which I really don't think that it's gonna get too overwhelming for him, I think he can handle it, but I'm just rewatching it, and it's so enjoyable, and I love it. So, you know, Reitanna, why are you advertising to us? It's not really advertising, it's just telling you guys about these things that I like, that, you know, are good and that you should check out, because I'm really, really picky. So, more often than enough, if I like it, it's actually pretty good. Unless it's Tool. Then it's guaranteed amazing. Okay? That's like the law. Tool can't be bad. You can't not like Tool. And if you say you don't, I will swear blasphemy on you and pray to the mighty MJK to smiteth you down! Anyway. Yeah, okay. Make sure to subscribe, spread the word of awesome, become a Reitannite, and click that little notification bell. Don't forget to click the little bell! And leave a like and shit. And I'll see you at some point whenever I start feeling better. Alright, see you later, alligators and crocodiles.